everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to tell you how you can create your very first multi-agent workflow using Microsoft Foundry. So this would be a very detailed one in which we will see how you can call any agent one after the another, how you can put if-else conditions so that you can change your agent calls depending on your scenario, how can you bring in human for providing the intermediate approval. So this would be like an end-to-end demo, and I would recommend you to stick till end so that you will get every single thing which I am talking about. So in order to get started, what you need to do is you need to first of all create an instance of Microsoft Foundry. So you can go to Microsoft Foundry, click on create an instance, and it will create a new instance for you. So by any chance, if you don't know how to get started with Microsoft Foundry, I would recommend you to check out my whole new playlist which is on Microsoft Foundry, and there you will get to know these initial things about that. So in my case, I have already created this instance. So once the instance is created, you can click on go to Foundry portal. And this will open something like this. So if you're opening it for the very first time, make sure that you are toggling this button which is on the top, new Foundry, because if you are toggling making it off, then you will still end up with the old portal. But in this scenario, we need a new portal so that we can utilize all the features of the Microsoft Foundry. Okay, so for today's thing, what we are going to do is we will be going ahead with 4 different agents. So in my case, my very first agent would be the idea generator. So this agent, what it will do is it will go ahead and generate 2-3 ideas depending on the topic which I am giving. So as the agent creation part is very straightforward, I'm not going to do it. But if you are new to this, you can just click on this create agent here, and it will ask you the agent name. You provide your name and go ahead with the instruction which you want or the personality what you want for your agent. So I have already created these ones. So first one I said it's idea generator. Second one is it will write LinkedIn post on the very first or the very best idea which is selected by the idea generator. Once we have the post ready, we will ask our refiner to take a look and refine it if there is any possibility to make it more professional post. And once it is done, we will ask our publisher to go ahead and publish it. But it's not that much straightforward flow, because we are going to add few conditions in between, because not every post can be posted to LinkedIn or wherever we are posting. We do need some sort of review in between. So let's go ahead and get started with our workflow. So on the left hand side, you can click on workflows and it will open up a new panel, something like this. Here, if you will see, there is a button on the right hand side which is create. So you can select any one of these, but I would prefer to go with the blank workflow because this is the very first video in this workflow series. So click on that and you will see some panel opened up here, and you will also see a node labeled as the start one, which is saying that this would be the start node for our flow which we are building. Okay. On the top, you can see there are a few matrices, which is like a traces, where you can see all the traces, like depending on what our workflow is doing. Let me quickly give it a name. So I would say December demo. Okay, so on the top, you can see the traces. So it will tell you how your, like what all things you are doing with your agent. You do have something for evaluation as well as for monitoring. So again, these are the parameters. You can quickly check it. It will tell you like how long your agent took to run, how many tokens it consumed, what was the error rate, what all tools you are calling with your agent. So all these things you can find it over here. On the top here, you can see there are 2 different types of workflows. So if you feel that your workflow can fit in one screen, like left to right, then you can go with this. Otherwise, you can also go with this one, vertical one, wherein you can change the direction from top to bottom. Then we have visualizer. We do have a YAML option, which is nothing but the YAML format or the YAML representation of the flow which we are building. We do have a code here. So this one is just the sample code. Don't take it as it is. You may definitely need to tweak it a bit, but it will at least let you get started. Okay, so let's quickly start with our flow. So I will drag it over here. Okay, here you can see the plus icon. So click on this plus icon and there are many options, or you can see the connectors available for us to use. So what I want to do is, whenever I'm giving a prompt, I want to invoke an agent. Now this agent would be my very first agent, which is idea generator. So idea generator agent will go ahead and generate a few ideas for me, as well as it will also select the best one for us. So let's call it as, I would say, let's call it a generator. And here, if you want, you can even change your agents for these instructions and everything. If you want, you can set up the tools from here, but I would recommend you to go and do it from the agent so that you don't mess many things over here. So, and here you can see the most important parameter, system.last message. So what it does is, it will take the input from the previous step. So in that case, this is our start. And here you can just keep it on, set it to set. Here are a few more things which you can do it. You can, if you want to save the output of this particular agent, then you can just create a variable and do it. I will show you all these steps as and when we are going ahead. If you want to go with the JSON format output, that also you can do it. Then we have a next action wherein you can take all these actions. So, but let's keep it simple. And I need to save my workflow. Let's go to preview so that we can test it. And here I am giving my prompt. I want to draft a LinkedIn post on analyzing GBs of data. So as soon as I clicked on this, you can see that image generator agent was invoked. And these are the 3 ideas it is giving depending on our topic, and this is the best one. This agent feels that this would be the best one to write a blog post. Now I'm going to add another, we have to close this one. I'm going to add another, or the next agent here, which is going to take the best idea and draft a post for us. So I'm going to say select an agent, post writer. And here I would say post writer, and still I will go with the last message. Now if I will go ahead and save it, let's try out once again. So you can see here idea generator agent was invoked, then post writer. So the post writer is just picking up the best one and writing the blog post for us. So this is one thing. Now what we want is, whatever the blog post is written over here, we want to refine it a bit. So for that we do have another agent, which is refiner. And again I will just say this, as well as I will also add the last one so that we can save some time here, which is publisher. It's done. Let's save it. And one thing, if you notice on the top here, we are having the versions. So right now this is the version 4, but by any chance if you want to go back to the previous version, you can just select it and you will be back to your v3 version. So let's move on to the latest one, and I will quickly give it a try to make sure that everything is working as expected till here. And here you can see the progress bar, so it will tell you that okay, I am right now on this particular node, or I am working with this particular agent. So here you have the topics, you have the post writer, you have the refiner over here, which is refining the post written by the previous step. And then as a publisher, I'm just saying post publish, but definitely you can go ahead and invoke LinkedIn APIs, or even if you want, you can create an instance of Logic Apps to trigger an email, but let's keep it simple, and I'm saying post published. Now if you look at this particular flow, there are few things which we need to change. Let's move it like this. Yeah, So whenever AI is generating a post, we don't want to simply go ahead and publish it. We do want some human to review it once. So for reviewing, what we can do is we need to add another component here, which should be after the refiner. So here you can just hover over it and you will see this plus icon. Click on this one, and from here you can select ask a question. So this ask a question, we will type in what user wants to ask. So I would simply say, do you want to approve this post? And if you want, you can name it to, let's name it something. And here I'm just pasting up this message. So I'm saying, do you approve below post? Type yes. So as long as user is typing yes, it means that user is okay to publish the post. So, and then next thing here is we need to read whatever is in the post, because let's say if user is not knowing what is there or what was the post, then it would be a bit difficult. So just to double confirm, or just to make sure, what we are doing is whenever user is we are asking this question, we are also saying that this is the post. No need to scroll the screen or go up and down. So now for reading this text, what I have done here is I need to create this particular variable, because everything will be done through the variable passing here. So go to this refiner. Before that, I will just grab this variable name. Go to refiner, and here you can see that, do you want to save the output, save agent output message as. So here I am going to create a new variable, and I would just name it as refined output. Let's save it. So now the refined output, whatever we have created here, this ask a question will be able to access it over here. So I'm going to mark it as done. Click on save. Okay, so now user is question is ready, and I would definitely want to go ahead and try it out once whether it's actually working. Whenever you are creating workflow, it is always good to go ahead and test your intermediate steps. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to go back and debug it. Ideas generated, best ideas given here. Now it has created a post on that. We do have a refiner working on it. I got some errors, seems unhandled workflow failure. So we did some mistake over here. I need to quickly check that out. So let's stop it. Go to the question, and here so we forgot one thing here. So save user responses as. So whatever the user is responding, we need to create a variable and save the response there. So I'm going to create a new variable, and we'll call it as user response. Let's save it, and I'm going to preview it again. Let's ask the same question. And this time we should have a little bit better response. So it is on this. So here you can see although I didn't format it pretty well, but you can still see that it is asking the question, do you approve below post? Type yes. So this is exactly the same post which you can see from the refiner. So it took that refined post, and now it is asking, do you go through this below post and let me know if it is okay to publish it or not. So if you're okay, just say yes. And this time you can see it turned into green, and the published post was published over here. Now let's change it. Now whatever the user's response is, we want to take a decision. So if it is approved, then only we want to go ahead and publish it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the conditional logic here using if-else block. And inside this if-else block, you can set this permission low. So what you can do is you can see when you want to execute this published flow. So here you need to say if my local approval users response. So this was the message or the variable. So whenever this variable is having response as yes, we just want to go ahead and execute the next step. So I will just say done. Let's save it. And at the same time, let's say if the approval was not provided, then what we are expecting is we want this flow to go back to the idea generator and execute the same thing again. So this could be done very easily, but let me tweak it a little bit more. So let's say user is not providing yes, but it is providing some other word. Let's say instead of the initial idea, he has changed his mind and now he's having a different topic altogether. So we want to generate a blog post or the LinkedIn post on that particular new topic. So what we can do is let's click on else here, and under the else I'm going to set the variable. So the reason why I'm setting a variable is because I want to provide some input to this particular thing. Now thing here to note is this particular node can read only data, read the data only from the past node, but here we have only start. So what we need to do is we need to create a variable over here, and I would say, do we have a create variable? So I would say set variable, and inside this set variable I would name it as, let's say, topic. So this could be our new variable topic, and I would simply say done. Okay, now here this topic you need not to set it initially because anyways it will take from the previous step. So but in our case else part, what we need to do is we need to set this variable again, and this variable would be, which variable do you want to set? So we want to reset the topic, and this topic would be the user's response. So whatever the input user is giving, if it is user is giving yes, then it will go ahead and publish it. But let's say user is providing some other topic, then we want that topic to be picked and the new idea generator should take care. So here I will set it this variable, and then after this variable I want to return my flow. So for returning the flow I can say go to statement. So this go to statement will point to the agent. So in our case we want it to be the generator agent. So let's set it to generator, and here you can see now the flow is created and it is pointing to idea generator. So this is how you can change the flow, you can add conditions, and you can do many things basically. So let me go ahead and save this one first. And we'll try to test it. Oops. We'll test it here. I'm using the same prompt. We'll see if we missed any parameters over here, but let's quickly test it out once. So do you provide your approval? I would say yes. It should go ahead and publish the post. So here you can see the flow got ended by post published. Let's try the same thing once again because we want to verify our else part as well. So it is generating some idea, it is refining the best idea, and it is asking, do you want to approve? I would say, instead of, you can say no, but I want to provide some topic. So this is how we have designed this flow. So I would say Azure services. So what it will do is it will take this Azure services topic, pass it on to the idea generator, and then idea generator will start working on the flow again. So let me scroll it a little bit. So here we provided Azure services, and from there you can see all the three ideas which generated were based on the Azure, and the best idea it chooses this one. Then the post was written on this topic, unlocking potential with Azure services. Here it is refined the post, and again you can validate that it is definitely with Azure, Microsoft Azure services. And now it is asking, do you want to approve this post? Let's go ahead and approve it. And it's done. So this is how easy it is to create a workflow and set the components here and there. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and do let me know if you want any other flow using this. And the reason why I didn't show the tools and everything, because those are like very straightforward. It comes under the agent part, so whatever the tools, let's say you are setting under your individual agents, it will be automatically picked. So that's the reason I am not utilizing any knowledge base or anything, but it should be straightforward. So whenever you are creating a flow, make sure that you are testing it here, otherwise you do have another way. So if I will click on this, here you can see added an agent playground. So there is also a way where you can directly open that agent. But make sure that you are testing all your individual agents properly before plugging them into the workflow. So that's all I have for today, and do let me know in comments how do you feel about it. Thanks for watching.